Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're looking at a playset called Death Star Escape. And this playset is trying to recreate the famous scene from A New Hope where Luke and Leia swing across the canyon in the Death Star while the stormtroopers are chasing them. And the first thing you're going to notice about this playset is I got 4 figures on here. I got 2 stormtroopers, Luke and Leia. And just so everyone's clear, these figures do not come with this playset. They're sold separately. I have them on here so we can see how it all looks in context and with the figures on here. And just be aware that if you do decide to go out and purchase this thing, the Death Star Escape playset, the figures are not included. It's just the bridge and the doorways. And first thing I'm going to do here is I want to spin this thing all the way around so you guys can get a look at the whole thing. And you'll see there isn't a whole lot to the actual playset. It's really just the bridge and the gunning platform. And there's 2 doorways. So there's not a whole lot to it. And you may also notice on the bottom here there's a little cardboard cutout, and what that is, it's just a picture of a deep hole in the Death Star so you can actually see what Luke and Leia were swinging across in the movie. So I'll show you guys that in a second, but I just wanted to show you what the playset looked like from all sides. And now I want to go ahead and I'm just going to pick the camera up and actually bring it closer to the playset so you guys can get a look at it and check it out. And you'll see we have a gunner on a little platform, stormtrooper, with a big blaster cannon. And there's a little piece of the Death Star in the center that is actually supposed to be where Luke's grappling hook is attached. And if you follow the cord down, you'll see it's attached to Luke. And he's wearing a little belt, and that's what the cable's attached to. And then we have Leia and another stormtrooper. And I just want to give you guys a little bit closer look at the set. And you can see the little cardboard cutout that shows the Death Star Canyon. And you'll have to forgive me for the damage. This toy is actually over 20 years old, so my cardboard has taken a little damage over the years. I apologize for that. But first thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull the stormtrooper off that's on the gunner platform. And it just slides onto the top of the door. There's a little clip on the bottom of it. And that's how it grabs onto the door here, you'll see. And the way the stormtrooper's attached is there's little pegs on the platform. And he has holes in his feet, and you just insert his feet over the pegs. And that's how he's attached, and he pops right off. But if you look closely, he's not actually holding any handle or anything on the gun. I just have his arm up next to it, so it gives the appearance that he's firing it. But there's no handle for the figure to actually hold. And he comes off real easy. You just kind of pull him back, and there you can see the holes on his feet for attaching him. And if we look at the gun a little closer, it does have a little bit of movement. It moves from side to side like this, but there's no tilt in it at all. It's fixed in this downward angle. It's permanently mounted like that, but it does swivel on the little pole. And you'll see there's a little projectile coming out the front, and the way you shoot that, it's very simple. There's a trigger on the back here. This is the actual trigger mechanism. And what you're going to do is you pull back on the trigger. Here, let's see if I can get a better grip on it. And boom! Shoots the little projectile out. You just reinsert till you hear click. And then one more time, I'll show you guys. You just pull back on this trigger here. Boom! And we fire the missile. And really simple. And to get the stormtrooper back on here, it's real simple. You just put his feet over the peg and you push down, And there you go, he's reattached. No problem. And that's the Stormtrooper gunner there. And if we look at the other gunner, Stormtrooper, you'll see I got him standing on the other platform, and he comes off real easy. It's the same thing. He's on the little pegs. And here, if you look, you can actually see the pegs on the platform. You'll see there's little stickers on it that represent parts of the Death Star. And you can actually see I got Luke and Leia on some of the other pegs that are on the bridge. And you can see the other door, or the other platform also has the figure pegs. And the door does open. You just pull it up and it slides up. And you can see there's little pegs on the other platform to hold figures. Okay. So next thing I want to do is we'll go ahead and take the Luke and Leia off here. And I want to show you how the grappling hook cable works. And so you just pull Luke off, and there he goes. He's dangling from his utility belt. And before we go there, here's what the bridge looks like when you take it out. There's nothing to it. It's just a little platform, and it just lays in here when you put it back. It doesn't snap in or anything really. It's just laying there. And so what you would do is you're going to have Luke on one side, and when he swings across, whee! And so of course you're going to want him to whoosh, boop, swing across. And I'll show you how he's attached. It's pretty simple. Let's just go ahead and pull the part of the Death Star off. But here's what it looks like when you take it apart. You have the little Death Star part, and if you look, that's how it snaps into that top beam along the center here. There's a little notch for it, and then when you follow the cable to the end, you'll see it's actually attached to Luke's belt, and the belt is part of the playset. It's not for Luke, or it didn't come with the Luke figure, excuse me, but this is just a standard Power of the Force Luke figure, and at the end of the cable is a Stormtrooper belt, and the cable is attached to the Stormtrooper belt. And that's how that works. And to reattach it, I'll show you guys real quick. I'm going to have to pick the camera up here. But you'll see there's a little notch and a cutout on this center beam here. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. And that's how you reattach this part. So you take this thing, and you'll see there's a little notch cut out in it. And so you would take it and you just push it in there, and it kind of snaps into position. And that is how the grappling belt works. Okay. And then before we go there, what I want to show you guys is here's another look at the cardboard cutout hole or chasm that the bridge was over. I want to give you guys another look at it with the bridge off so you can see it and get a little bit closer. There's what the bridge looks like when it's removed. And another thing I'll show you real quick is this door is actually, you can switch it and put it in any side you want, but it comes up like this, and you'll see there's a little lip on it in the front here, and you got to have the lip facing towards the bridge for it to work right, because you'll see on the doorway here there's a little low side for it. But anyway, if you want to switch the door, you just take it out of one side. It only comes with one door. Oh, oops. Anyway, there you go. So you can switch sides with it. Just to show you how that's done, it's pretty simple. Once again, the door just comes out, you flip it around, and you can insert it in the other side. So the door can be used on both sides. And to be completely honest with you guys, that's about everything this little set does. There's not a whole lot to it. But I'm going to let you know if anyone out there is watching this video because they're interested in buying this thing. I'm going to warn you up front. There are some serious flaws with this playset. One of the problems with it is it's very flimsy and it falls apart very easy. And you'll see how easy it shakes and wiggles. Well, the thing is, it's the only thing holding it together right now is this center beam at the top here. And there's a little beam that goes across the bottom that's removable. It's right above the cardboard. It's right here. And that's the only thing holding this whole set together. So if I was to pull this beam straight out right now and it's not attached very well, the whole thing would literally fall apart. So, and it's not really attached all that well. I'll go ahead and see if I can pull it off here. And you can see, if you look underneath, there's just a little cutout for the top of the door beam here on each side, and it just snaps in. So this whole thing does disassemble, so if you want to put it in storage or you're going to pack it up or anything, but that's how it does it. And you can see it's a cool play set. It doesn't do a whole lot, but sometimes it can be very frustrating because you'll be sitting here fiddling with it, trying to get it together, and the whole thing will just fall apart on you a second later. But another thing I'll show you real quick is this cardboard is literally, it's just sitting in here, and it's just a picture to give the whole thing context, I guess. But let me see if I can show it to you from a little bit different angle so you can kind of understand what they're getting at with this hole. So that's what it looks like from up top. So you got the two platforms and then the cardboard cutout, and that represents the whatever Luke and Leia were swinging over in the movie. If you're ever curious what it looked like, that's what it looks like. And there you go. That's about the whole thing. Let's see if we can get it all back together here real quick. And so, first thing we want to do is put the bridge back in. And like I said, it just sits here. It doesn't lock in. There's no snap or anything like that. And then once again, to get Luke in here, you just kind of push him in and wrap the belt around him. And he's ready to go. But I think we'll be really lucky if I can actually get this whole thing back together with all the figures without having it fall apart on me here. So like I said, I've had this thing fall apart on me a couple times, to be honest with you. Trying to prep for this video and things like that. It can be frustrating set. And then finally, the last piece is the gunner on the blaster cannon, and he just snaps onto the top of the door. And there you go, everyone. That's it. That is the Death Star Escape playset from the Power of the Force collection. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.